Millennials and Gen Z aren't broke because they're lazy. They are broke because the rules changed. And nobody wants to admit it. Our parents could work normal jobs, buy homes in their 20s, raise families on one income, and still retire comfortably. Meanwhile, today, people making decent money still feel financially trapped. Rent exploded, home prices exploded, car payments exploded, tuition exploded, groceries exploded, but wages barely moved, and now millions of young adults are stuck in a brutal psychological loop. Work harder, get nowhere, spend money to feel better. Repeat. Today, we're breaking down the real reason millennials and Gen Z feel broke all the time, why modern life feels financially impossible, and the mindset shift people need if they actually want to escape the trap. Because this is no longer just inflation. This is a completely different economic reality. Comment below where you're watching from, and what price increase recently made you say, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Let's start with the biggest reason young people feel hopeless right now: housing. In the late 1980s, the average home cost roughly 4 times the average annual salary. Painful? Sure, but possible. A normal person with a normal job could realistically imagine owning property someday. Today, in many cities, homes cost 6, 8, even 10 times the average income. That changes everything psychologically, because once shelter becomes unaffordable, people stop feeling like they are building toward a future. They start feeling like they are permanently surviving. And the worst part? Young people are entering adulthood already financially damaged. Student debt exploded into a multi-trillion-dollar crisis. Previous generations could often pay tuition with part-time jobs. Today, some degrees cost as much as houses used to. That's not normal. And then we tell young adults, just work harder. Meanwhile, entry-level jobs now require years of experience, multiple interviews, advanced skills, and often still barely pay enough to survive in major cities. That's why so many people feel stuck. The math genuinely became harder, and this pressure creates something incredibly dangerous psychologically: doom spending. This is where people subconsciously give up on long-term goals because those goals feel impossible anyway. And honestly, can you blame them? If buying a house feels unreachable, retirement feels decades away, and the economy feels rigged, people start thinking, I might as well enjoy my life now. That mindset quietly destroys financial futures, because once people emotionally disconnect from the future, they stop investing in it. And while housing creates the pressure, car payments often finish people off financially. The average car payment today is absolutely insane. Some people are paying $700, $800, even over $1,000 per month for something losing value every single day. We normalize being deeply in debt just to commute to work. And financially, that's catastrophic for younger generations trying to build wealth, because every oversized car payment steals future investing power. A $700 payment invested consistently over decades could become over $1 million. That's the hidden cost nobody thinks about. Not just the payment, lost freedom. And if you're getting value from this breakdown so far, subscribe now, because understanding modern money psychology is one of the few ways to avoid getting financially trapped in this economy. Now here's where things get even worse. Social media. Previous generations compared themselves to neighbors. Now people compare themselves to influencers with rented lifestyles and hidden debt. Luxury became performance art. Everyone feels pressure to travel constantly, upgrade constantly, look successful constantly. Even broke people are now expected to look wealthy online. That creates endless financial anxiety, because modern consumer culture profits from insecurity. The more inadequate people feel, the more they spend. And while everyone argues online about generations, the real issue is this: the cost of appearing successful exploded faster than actual wages did. That's why so many young adults feel exhausted all the time. They are trying to survive financially while simultaneously performing success socially. That combination burns people out mentally and financially. Now let's talk about the biggest lie young people were told. Just follow the traditional path. Go to school, get the degree, get the job, buy the house, retire someday. That formula worked in a completely different economy. Today, flexibility matters more. Specialized skills matter more. Job hopping matters more. being difficult to replace matters more. The people winning financially right now are usually the people who adapted fastest to the new rules, because loyalty alone no longer creates wealth. And honestly, a huge percentage of young people don't actually have an income problem first. They have a psychology problem created by modern culture. Because in 2026, normal spending habits often lead to financial stress. Normal is car debt, credit card debt, subscription overload, doom spending, and paycheck-to-paycheck living. So escaping requires becoming psychologically different from average consumers. Boring choices. But boring choices build wealth. And this is where Millennials and Gen Z actually have an advantage. Awareness. Younger generations understand systems better than previous generations did. They understand inflation, opportunity cost, digital income, remote work, investing, and financial psychology earlier than ever before. That awareness matters, because while the economy is harder, it's still possible to build wealth if you stop playing the status game. That's the key. Most people stay trapped because they spend money trying to look financially successful instead of becoming financially secure. Real wealth looks surprisingly boring. It looks like low debt, high savings, investments, emergency funds, flexibility, and peace of mind, not constant consumption. The people who win financially in this generation will usually be the people who emotionally detach from consumer culture first. That's a real shift. Not just making more money, but wanting less validation. Because financial freedom starts the moment you stop spending money for strangers' approval. Focus on skills, investing, automation, negotiation, and intentional living. Because while previous generations had a tailwind, this generation can still learn how to sail. And if you want to avoid the massive investing mistake that wipes out years of progress for young investors, watch the next video right now. Because this is where many people finally start making money and then lose everything emotionally.